healthy choices, helping you live healthier. Sponsored by Intermountain Health.
And we just talked about this, the importance of that good night's sleep. It is crucial for a child's development and growth. But did you know that most of our kids are not getting the recommended amount of sleep?
Dr. Lori Neeleman, clinical psychologist at Intermountain Health, is here to share tips to help kids and parents maintain healthy sleep habits to reduce stress in this sponsored interview. And Doctor, let's jump right in with why it is so important. It affects a lot if we're not rested.
Yeah, so sleep affects literally every facet of life. And we know this, right, as humans, and we know it based on the literature. So everything from our concentration and attention to our mood, to our heart health, to our weight health. I mean, you name it, and sleep impacts it.
I think I'm more emotional when I don't sleep. Like, everything is a bigger deal.
Yeah, everything's dysregulated. It's like the traffic, on the road, and when you haven't slept, it's things can be a lot more angry.
Yeah, you're right. Irritated, sensitive, all those things. Okay, so the first tip you have is to be consistent.
Yeah, so consistency is one of the best things you can do, and it's related to that circadian rhythm or the 24-hour rhythm. So if we keep that rhythm a rhythm and stable, we tend to function a lot better, and our health is a lot better as well. So as most people know, you can't make yourself go to sleep, right? But you can generally make yourself get up. And so if you set that rhythm with a consistent rise time, that tends to be kind of the cornerstone for good sleep for most people.
I'm glad you're talking about it right now, because summer is the toughest time to set that routine.
Yep.
Our kids are all over the place when it comes to bedtime.
They are all over the place, and it's okay. I mean, summer is summer, right? And there has to be some flexibility. But if you keep some general regularity, everyone will be happier, and your homes will be happier. Everything just goes better. Yeah. So generally speaking, right? Keep that rise time within about an hour every day, and then let sleepiness guide your bedtime. Sleepiness and smart bedtime behavior. Right. Yeah. So screen time, all of that can certainly delay, and that can kind of create a mess for some people.
And make sure the bedroom's cozy. It's dark, it's quiet, cool.
Dark, cool. Some kids still have, and actually some adults as well, have some sensitivity to the dark. So it's not that it has to be, pitch dark and you're not going to sleep if you don't and all that stuff. But keeping it comfortable and cool and generally dark, or just kind of a really dim nightlight for little kids, that can be helpful.
How do you feel about white noise?
Yeah, so white noise is a personal preference. So there are some people who really do sleep better when they have noise that kind of
both raise their hands.
Masks whatever is going on in the house.
I have a fan that I have to listen to the fan.
It's a great idea. And other people like it silent. So it's preference.
Whatever it takes to fall asleep and stay asleep.
Yep.
Okay, limiting that exposure to screen time right before bed.
Yeah, so it's an interesting literature. But what we know is the short wavelength of light that comes off of the screen suppresses melatonin production, right? We've been sleeping as a species for a really long time, and we've only had screens for about this long, right? And our sleep is a mess. So there's got to be that correlation, and if you can reduce screen time before bed and the content from the screen, people tend to sleep better.
You and I were just talking about this because Dina has littles, but I have big kids, and my 19-year-old isn't sleeping. So she tells me I was on my phone till 3.
Yeah.
So that blue light, right? And then tried to sleep and then stays in bed till noon.
Yeah, so for a 19-year-old, right, and really it happens around puberty and lasts until about your mid-20s, we have a natural circadian delay, which means that their natural bedtime is actually later. Their melatonin rises later, it stays later in the morning. The trouble is if you get on that screen, it can push the melatonin even later, right? And so then you end up with a super delay as opposed to kind of a mild delay.
And then you sleep half the day away. And this is also why they say junior high and high school should start later.
That is exactly why they say that.
Okay, what about exercise? With my little kids, I feel like I got to take them out and run them, get them exhausted.
As much activity as possible. I mean, I'm biased. I think sleep is kind of the magic bullet for health, but movement and exercise is a close second, if not equal, right? So when you're moving during the day, your sleep quality tends to be better at night. And when your sleep quality is good, we tend to move better during the day.
That's so true for me.
Yeah.
I can tell when I don't exercise.
Yeah.
I toss and turn. Should we be avoiding caffeine and alcohol, nicotine in the afternoon and the evening?
So look, I mean, caffeine is kind of a wonder drug, and many people run on it, right? But if you can eliminate it, at least 6 hours, but really preferably 12 hours because of the half-life of caffeine, your sleep quality tends to be better. Nicotine, bless its heart, it creates a mess for lots of things, but especially sleep. And it's very tricky because you get a relaxation effect plus a stimulating effect, and it really does create a mess. So if you're using nicotine, it's probably a good idea to stop, but definitely don't do it in the 3 or 4 hours before bed.
Okay, we have time for one more. I've got to ask you about this one. Eating. So sometimes kids are hungry right before they go to sleep.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like they fall asleep on an empty stomach. Then I'm worried they're going to wake up.
They're going to wake up. Yeah, so eating is a little tricky. Some people are going to do better with a snack before bed. And you could even build that into your bedtime routine if you wanted. But generally speaking, you want to give at least 3 hours between your final meal, right? So kind of the heavy meal that you might have for dinner, and when you're going to try to go to bed. Because we just aren't well equipped to digest during the night cycle, right, or the rest and digest time.
The girls and I were
of the
having
day.
chips at 11 last night. Is that all right?
How'd you sleep?
Pretty good. There you go.
Good for you. It's probably great.
These tips and tricks can help your kids improve their sleep quality. So to schedule an appointment to assess your child and test them for sleep disorders or learn more about these, please call Intermountain Primary Children's Hospital. The number is on your screen, along with their website that has such great tips right there. We'll put a link on ours, abc4.com/GTU. And our thanks to Intermountain Health for sponsoring this interview. Thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
Thank you.